For the last few years, I have been traveling around Europe with this car, for which I had created a system that allowed me to fit a bed for 2 people inside. This system was getting too small for us, so I sold the car and I bought a small van. I decided to buy the NV200 from Nissan, since its dimensions would allow me to use it both as a camper and as an everyday life vehicle. Inside, I could put drawers, a battery system, an interior table, cabinets, clean and grey water tanks, a sink that can be converted into an outdoor shower, a chemical toilet, and a sofa that can be converted into a double bed. All this while preserving the capacity to carry from 2 to 5 people. If you want to know how I did all this, join me in this series of episodes where I will detail the entire process. In the 4th episode of this video series, I showed you the process by which I made the cabinets of the van, and I explained that the space on the left would be used as a sink that can be converted into an outdoor shower. Here you can see how it is today, with its 10-liter clean water tank and its 5-liter grey water tank. At first, I thought it would be a great idea to use one of the smaller sinks that are sold in department stores. But I quickly realized that it took up too much space and it did not allow me to adapt it with the tools that I had at the moment. So I decided to create my own sink, using a circular bowl and making a hole for drainage at the bottom. Since I already had bought the sink, I reused part of its components, such as the drain, for the surface of the sink, I used pine wood that I cut according to the pattern of the cabinet to fit into the walls of the van. I then cut a hole in it to fit the sink in, saving the circular cutout so I can put it on top of the sink when not in use, so I can use the space as a table. Also, with a router, I went over the entire circular edge of the wood so that the edges of the plastic bowl were hidden. After also making a hole in the cabinet itself, I got ready to stick the sink in it using silicone. Also using silicone, I sealed the sink to prevent possible moisture from slipping through the hole. Then I varnished both the wood that will serve as a surface and the circular cutout that will cover the sink and will be used as a table when it's on. I did it using a special varnish for exteriors and extreme conditions, since if any part of the van can get wet in the future, it will be this one. While the wood glue that held all the pieces together dried, I drilled a hole to install the faucet. Once again, to prevent possible moisture problems, I went over the entire contour again with more transparent silicone. But then, trouble! The shelf was too low for the water tanks. So I had to take it out, drill a hole for the drain pipes, and finally put it back, but higher. The water will rise from the clean water tank using a pump. This pump comes with a battery and a button, so there's no need to connect it to the electricity. I will place the button on the inside of the cabinet, hanging this way to prevent accidentally pushing it. In the cap of the clean water tank, I made a hole to pass the battery connector and the tube that will take the water to the faucet. All that was left to do was assemble the entire system. Here you can see how I'm connecting everything step by step. First, I screw the drain tube into the sink. Then I pass the pump cable to the battery with a button, having previously passed it through the cap of the clean water tank. Next, I connect the tube that extracts the water to the pump, also passing it through the cap. And finally, I connect the drain pipe to the grey water tank. This is how the sink is installed into the closet. To use it, you must open the door and press the button. and then select whether you want a normal or a shower type water jet. Finally, the faucet can also be extended up to 2 meters, allowing it to be anchored outside of the van for showering. Here you can take a look at how everything is installed inside the van.